Hi, Kim Duke.
Hey, Chris Duke.
How are you?
I'm good. I haven't podcasted with you in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, because you weren't.
You keep substituting
you called
other
in.
people than me.
You called in, so you still got to be
while
on
I was
it.
working.
Andy takes Ativan, ran over a band of geese. He always sleeps in fleas. Andy might be a serial killer.
The way you have that hat rolled sure looks like it.
We won't know until this show is over.
Okay, so that could have been two different songs.
It was two different
It started as Yoshimi, and then it turned into a Queen song.
Yes. Yes.
Honestly, I didn't realize how close they were until you did that, and I was like, are they the same song?
Kim, we have Andy Mattfield here.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for having me again.
We're
this
glad
is
you're
now
here.
this is now my fourth time on the show, but actually second time on the show.
Right.
Oh, did you do roasts?
I did 2 roasts, so I've been on for 2 roasts.
Yeah, audio-wise, you've been featured multiple times.
But this is
true.
my first video appearance other than the roast.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure being on video.
It's
I
not.
just want to look like trash all the time.
I do have to say, shit, wrong sound pad. Wait,
Oh shit, we didn't have a.
sorry. Take 2?
I thought the part was that one.
Yeah.
Yep. I was gonna push
Damn
it.
it, 6 and 2. That's what it is.
I was gonna push it during your intro. We're just like, "Hey, Kim Duke, what's new with you?"
That would've been real
Kim's
good.
like, "La la la." And you're like,
We didn't even have him pick a snack.
No, not yet.
Fucked
We
it
got
up.
time. We've been having people pick snacks on the video.
we got
thing.
time, man. I got all day. You know, last night we were supposed to do the show, but then I got offered a hosting gig last second.
Oh, yeah. How'd that show go?
I mean, my brain is keyed for 9 minutes, so I did 9 minutes, and they told me I could do 10 to 15, but I did 9, and I was like, God damn it. I had 6 more minutes I could have done, you know? So a little bummed about that. I mean, it went fine. It was fine. I got a little clap break, so, you know.
When I host, for some reason, everything ends at 4 minutes. I don't know what the fucking deal is.
Are you thinking about it like sex or what?
Maybe.
Like, I got 4 minutes. I got one real short Death Cab by Cutie song.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
I have the intro to a Tool song, and that's that.
I have the keyboard solo to any Riders in the Sky version.
But where was the show at?
I was at the Courtyards of Andover. It's a really fun room. Michael Thorne books it. Super fun room. They asked me to do it last minute, so it was really cool that you guys were able to reschedule.
Yeah, of course.
So I could do that because the room I wanted to do, and it's really fun.
Have you done the room before?
I've been at the room before, but I'd never done the room, so it was the first time. But there was like 100 people there, all wanted to laugh. Buffet before, food was great. Yeah, real fun
Nice.
room. Yeah,
Cool, man.
highly recommend.
deal. So since the last time you were on, I mean, the reason why we had you on the first time is because we vibed so much on like superficial roasting.
I like roasting.
Oh yeah, you were the guy that would always message him, and you guys would
Yeah.
roast each other.
It was awesome.
I love
Did
that.
I roast you? I roasted Dan Hinnenkamp the other day, and
Yeah.
he said he just sent back, "Oh, gross." I'll see if I can find it through my phone. It's pretty fun.
I always go with that's I'll either say that's really good or just giggles.
I just like roasts. I think it's fun. It's like if you roast someone really well, it means that you like actually care about them to invest in like, how am I going to look at you and find something funny to say about you?
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it's personality based. Sometimes it's just, you know, how
I gotta
how well
get
you know the
better at
person.
it. I get way too personal
I mean, that
because I
works out.
don't know
though.
how to roast.
It depends on how you do it. Like there's a personal way where if it looks like in your eyes, there's a little bit of like
Anger, resentment.
anger,
I
resentment.
know. That's why I can't roast you because
Then people look at you like, uh-oh.
This is the roast I said. This was pertaining to a certain. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say his name. He's a booker in Superior, Wisconsin.
Wait, is his name?
Yep, that's exactly who it was. So I said, he's like a Jeff Dunham puppet, got covered in enough jizz and ovulation to make a real person.
Oh,
Right?
That's very creative.
It's super gross.
That is really gross. Why do I feel like I can't hear myself still?
The response was, holy fuck, that's gross. And that's when I knew
Yeah.
I'd cornered the market on Jeff Dunham burns.
So these are the volumes for the headphones.
Yeah, just
so
turn my
I turned
headphones
them
up.
all the way up.
Okay, I'm fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Can you hear this now?
Yeah, I can hear myself.
Oh, good.
Did you go Borat for a second?
I don't know where I went. I'm not
Oh,
good with
dude.
accents. I can't roast and I can't do accents.
I had not a roast, but like, Petra and I will announce our undying love for each other once a week.
I mean, that's good, though.
And
You got it.
He texted something to the effect of like, we're glad that, your family is a part of our family, this and that.
Colloquialisms.
And I said some kind of Borat thing, and I was like, you're going to go to sleep tonight crying into your pillow with a Borat accent, but instead of saying my wife, you're going to be going, my life. So like tears of joy, but
My life.
like an overly appreciative Borat is,
I can see that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to give that to you because I think it's caring. It's creative.
Sure.
Ultimately it's kind.
So here's the other thing. So we bonded on the roast and the like duck off a water's back. Duck off a water's back. Water
What?
off a duck's back type of way
Oh.
that one handles roasts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like people who are good at it and want to do it more, they let those roasts roll off the back there.
Yeah.
So we connected on that, and then the only way I can think of explaining this is your almost Asperger-y approach to how you talk about your depression and things that you've been through.
Yeah.
It's the way that you say it. I know you're sincere, but it sometimes almost sounds like well, of course, you idiot. Of course I'm depressed. Of course I have had this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have a kind of blunt approach to sincerity.
I try to normalize it as much as I can.
Yeah.
It's like if you bring it that approach, people are like, oh, well, that doesn't sound like he's sad that his life is sad.
Yeah.
Right.
Life is sad. Who cares?
Every day's sad. Yeah.
Everything bad,
I'm just one out of billions of people. You can't expect everyone to care about you.
Right.
It's just the way it is, So take care of yourself. Care about yourself. Care about others around you. Make sure they know how you feel.
Absolutely.
Just be a nice, chill human,
Fantastic. So in terms of, comedy, how have things been going?
I mean, they're all right. I'm like booked once a month, which is pretty good, I guess.
I mean, like, how are you feeling about it? Because I know...
Oh, I'm like ass backwards, man. My brain's so fucked right now. Like, I just got officially diagnosed with ADD at 34 and dysthymia. So, like, I'm getting all these, like, things that I just kind of knew. But now it's like, now that I have the official label, it's like, how do I navigate through that world, And, like, my comedy is... I always deal with like death and stuff in my comedy, so I'm more aloof towards death than a lot of people are, because a lot of people are like, oh, you don't talk about death, it's scary and sad, and I'm like, everybody's gonna die.
No.
Like, that is just what's gonna happen. You're gonna explode somehow. So like, we might as well talk about it now,
Yeah.
and like realize that every moment is fleeting, and it's like you only have a certain amount of time, and you could only create so many things, and then like 30 years after you die, no one's going to remember anything you created unless you like are a fucking insanely creative person that like built an entire monument to themselves.
Yeah.
Like
I'm going to do that.
the Teslas and Edisons and, stuff like
Yeah,
that, you know, create an innovation that is used for however long. And then even in, 200-300 years from then, no one's going to remember them. It's just kind of, there's like 12 people that everyone remembers for longevity, and either they are horrible monsters or they created a mathematic.
Ah,
So
interesting.
have fun with what you have. Don't take it too seriously, Pay your bills.
Pay your bills.
Pay your bills.
Pay your bills so that when you're gone, somebody else isn't having to pick up the slack. Or if you really hate whoever you're leaving behind,
Rack up.
pay none of the bills.
So make sure you get them to co-sign, and then it's their responsibility. There you go, baby. Scot-free.
Yeah.
Sell your body to science. Okay. No, I've been dealing with this thing lately where it's like I don't really like my job, and I think that's the thing that a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah.
But like I don't know how to get out of my job. It's like I've been with it so long. It's like a bad marriage. You know, I'm just like, how do I get out of this? Like
You're
my job is a
preaching to the
Karen.
choir.
You know.
Yeah.
So like I don't know how to get out of it. But then like my brain, it's finally found like in a way to equate it. It's like you know how like work just like sucks your soul. Like that's what it is. Like you do this job so you can do things that you want to do, but you don't get to do what you want to do as much as you have to do this thing you don't like to do.
Yeah.
So it siphons your life from you. And eventually you can retire, but by then it's siphoned the good years of your life, right?
Yeah. I was
And
thinking of
so-
that the other day because my dad's retired. He retired at 55, and it's like, that sucks though. All the fun years, like you work full time just so you can eventually retire. And who knows if I'm going to make it to 65, 66, 67. By the time we get up there, I'll probably be 70.
And your dad.
Oh, it's actually 69. I think they just raised the Social Security too. They might have actually
Hell
lifted it.
yeah.
What's up, baby? Limp dicks.
Them dudes.
Just going to town. Gonna get them. Get all.
Your dad, though, that's like him being retired too. It doesn't take much to make him happy, and like on a daily basis. So him not having his like physicality
Okay.
isn't the end of the world to him.
Yeah.
Whereas like I feel like we want to do so much.
Oh yeah, like travel
So
and stuff. My dad hates everything.
retirement being further and further away just makes you think like, will I be able to do any of that shit?
You gotta take what you can when you have it. You know, don't wait on an opportunity to do it when you get it. You know.
For sure.
You're like, oh, I'll have more money in 30 years. Well, maybe not, you know? You don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe you won't last in that job for 30 years, or maybe you'll shatter your legs and you'll be a shell of a human, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll become a hardcore alcoholic and that's your whole life. And then anything you wanted to do, you can't do because you can't be on a plane long enough to get all the booze you need. You know, there's all these things that could play into it. So...
That's why sometimes I think that like, oh, it's great being a nurse. I'll have a great retirement. I'll make a bunch of money. But then it's like, if one patient fucks me up the wrong way, then I can't work as a nurse anymore.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that happen where nurses have been assaulted so bad they can't work as like they get TBIs and they can't function as a nurse anymore.
It's so weird how I express my fear of
I'm
that.
fine. If I'm concerned, I have security with me. So.
She wears a helmet. It's
I wear
fine.
a button that takes a second to go off, or a couple seconds. It's fine.
And then
4
takes
seconds to
7
crush your
to
window.
12 minutes returned. It's fine.
It's fine.
Right?
I never put myself in a position where I am uncomfortable.
Neither does Brian Aragon, but that dude,
Who's Brian Aragon?
he's a professional rollerblader.
He
but
rollerblades.
he's safe about it. And he's
Does
precise and calculated.
Does he wear a helmet every time? Does he wear elbow pads, knee pads?
No. Is that security
Wrist
guard
guards?
by you every time?
If I'm concerned,
It
I
takes
bring them
4
with me.
Yes,
Kim,
exactly. If you're
Kim wears
concerned.
wrist guards, knee pads, elbow guards. She wears the
Helmets.
whole thing. She's got rollerblades.
I've got rollerblades so I can scurry
She
off
can
real
zip
fast.
out of there if she needs to, man.
It
She
doesn't
basically
it
works
honestly
at a Sizzler.
doesn't matter if I work in mental health or if I work in med surge or ICU. Anybody has the potential to be violent and assault you.
Any money can be violent and assault you.
Yes.
At any time. He's a ghost now, so he
He
has
is a
even
ghost.
more unchecked power.
It's true.
Just saying.
I could walk out and a civilian or community could just assault me if they wanted to.
I fell on the ice yesterday skating, and I was like,
The
this
ice
is it.
assaulted you.
As I went down, I'm like, this is it.
And then the ice didn't break.
No, and then I
your
got up.
hip didn't break and you were fine.
Yeah, and I got up, I kept skating.
Moment in time.
Ooh. This is it. Make no mistake where you are. Your back's to the corner.
Someone could walk into your work and shoot you all up. We could do this all day,
Yeah,
bro.
and in sales, that's highly
okay,
likely.
so what I'm saying is yes, because we could do this all day.
do you want me to not work as a nurse? Okay, say bye to your house here. Bye-bye.
You don't need a house. Did you miss the thing I just said like not too long
Just
ago?
live in a box and
it just
negative
sucks
20.
your life away. Pay your bills. It just sucks them away over and over.
But I heard
and
the pay your
over.
bills part.
I mean, that's the subliminal part of the message is just pay your bills and then you'll be fine. You know? Just pay your bills.
Speaking of dangerous work environments, you got engaged recently.
Well, like
Within last year,
A year
before
ago, yeah.
we were on the podcast. I think.
Yeah, or was it after? I don't
You
know.
you proposed after.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we talked about we talked off podcast about me doing it, and
Yeah.
then
But
What?
I
like,
did it.
I feel like you've been more vocal about it.
Yeah,
recently,
I'm engaged.
To a
Watchers,
person?
listeners, yeah, like an actual real human being, like someone that feels feelings and like appreciates people for who they are and embraces their differences. You know,
Yeah, she seems like Royal Stein's little sister.
that'd be cool. Yeah, I love Royal. God, I love that guy. So fucking fun.
Yeah.
I love you too. You're fun too. Just letting you know, I don't normally drive an hour for a podcast.
Hey,
but this
thank you
time
for
I only
doing
had to
that.
drive half an hour because
Ooh.
I did a podcast of my own before, and that's why I was late.
Oh.
So,
Perfect.
yeah, it's a two-parter. My podcast, then I don't talk about your podcast at all, and then this one, me talking about my podcast that I did before your podcast.
Yeah.
No one will.
We've both been on your podcast.
You have.
I just I have 11 minutes of Chris's episode left to listen to, and it's very interesting because we've never talked about it before.
Interesting.
Like, I knew of everything, obviously,
Uh-huh.
but like I never knew it was like I kind of knew what was going on in his head, but the fact, like, spoiler alert, if you haven't listened to Chris's episode, go listen to it on Hard Day Diaries.
Pause right now.
Yeah.
Listen to that. Actually, listen to Kim and Chris's, and then
Come back to this.
come back.
Come back.
All right, now
But-
that you're back,
But the fact that Chris was still thinking that he was going to talk his way out and go home and finish, like, I had no idea about that. He was so cold and wouldn't even look at me. I was in the room with him and he had no engagement with me at all.
I suppose that's kind of that moment where you're just like, you had already checked out from life,
Right.
Yeah.
and then now you're like, oh, I guess I have a late checkout,
Yeah.
and so like now you have to figure out what to do in
Yeah.
that space.
It's like missing a flight, and you're trying to figure out what's the next most available flight out of here.
How do I catch another flight without having to go to Cleveland?
Yep.
And
Fuck
then
Cleveland.
the fact that he's like, I do work in that room a lot.
Yeah.
Like every day I work. And when I first started my position, it like was a little weird, like PTSD-ish. But then now it's like, I don't even. I think what's nice about the fact that I do my role that I am in now, and I've been on the family side of things.
Yeah.
So it's like I try to be really understanding with family. I've had difficult families recently, but like trying to be like your family members in this room, they get taken everything taken away from them, and you are at loss because you're not in that room with them, and
Yeah.
you're hoping that the information you're providing to that person is important enough that they're going to keep them there. Because I knew when she came in and she was like, so I ever have a previous attempt? I'm like, oh, absolutely. She goes, oh, he told me he hasn't. So it's like,
Yeah.
I know.
It's like, who's going to be the truthful one in
Yeah.
that scenario, you know?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was just, I still have, I didn't finish listening to it because I was driving.
Because you
when I was
don't love me.
listening.
I get it.
No,
And,
I was driving. I just haven't gotten back to it, and I don't want to listen to it around you because I want to.
I feel like
Oops.
I don't know why I felt so rushed to do it, but I felt like all of your episodes were only half an hour long. So I was like, how can I tell the story in 20 minutes? And
Yeah, no, like I was going to talk to you about it because I've had some people hit me up and they like want to hear like more too, because they're like, it feels like it's resolved, but there was one thing, like the title specifically, what will my children think? A lot of people want to know more behind that specific spot. Like,
That's I
why
was when
it-
I was listening to that.
Yeah, why was it named that? Well,
I
mean,
was. I
obviously it
thought
was
you would
named that
talk
for a
more
reason, but-
about like because I took time off that week.
Yeah.
From work, and I took the kids, so they have visiting hours twice a day, and we went twice a day. Every day he was there.
yeah, that's the thing that, yeah.
And then like
you have
my
no
kids
idea.
actually don't know why he was there. We told him he was there because his back was hurting and he was getting his back looked at. They had no idea. Like they saw people walking around in scrubs and stuff like that. My
Yeah.
kids still have no clue that that's exactly why he was there. They think he was there for his back.
Yeah, and they knew that other people were sick, but I obviously wasn't like them as far as they knew. So
Yeah.
it didn't. I don't think it registered. But yeah, that's the thing is, they were there. They visited, 10 times probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
One
to
time I
think-
didn't bring the kids, and that was awkward because Chris apparently wanted the kids there.
Yeah,
Because it was just the two of us having to talk about things, and it was really weird.
yeah, I didn't want to talk about anything.
I know. which is why he talked about it on your podcast. I haven't talked to him in person about it.
Yeah. So like I guess. I mean, we could talk about it now, or we could talk about it another time. But
I mean,
You should do a part 2.
I have legitimately all day. I cleared out everything after this.
Well, I mean, the kids were a big driving point the whole time because, like I mentioned on there, the fact that they were inside so much. They were in the house during the summertime, during nice days out. And if I thought for a second that they were going to try to go to somebody else's house, I would be like very stern on making them. And I would let other kids come over here, but and I would try to get parents to let kids come over and things, but it doesn't always work. And so yeah, they were trapped here for the majority of what I was going through. And they would say things all of the time. As far as, like, when are we going to be able to do this? When are you going to teach me to snowboard? When are you going to teach me to rollerblade? And wanting to climb and play and all that, normal kid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what will my children think is like, I don't know. When I think of kids whose parents like had a disability growing up, like, or, like MS or their parents have cancer or whatever. Like I know kind of how they thought about it, but I don't know anybody who dealt with what I went through.
Yeah.
So I wonder what they're gonna say about it later on in life.
Gotcha. Like a parent that took their life to suicide.
Yeah.
Like I almost lost my mom to suicide a couple different times.
Because in that podcast when you were talking to Chris, you talked about like your mom went away for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was a while.
Yeah. How old were you when that happened to you?
I was like 12.
Okay.
12 or 13.
So Landon was 8 and Layla was 6.
And like, I mean, I'm young in an old family, so now I'm regular age in a young family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that was really common for me. I grew up going to more funerals than weddings for a long time, and then switching over now I do more weddings than funerals. But well, I take that back. It was 5 and 5 last year.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, good. I have to pee.
Yeah.
Oh, we're pausing?
What just happened?
I think your battery dead.
Plug in over there?
That was weird. Is it not plugged in all the way on the side, or do you want me to go over and look on the other side?
Check, see what's going on over there.
To the left.
Plugged into that top thing, right? Yeah, check to see if that USB got slipped out or something. Oh shit!
Dad, is that you? Father, can you hear me? Papa, Papa.
All right,
Well, we were talking about how he goes to more weddings now than funerals.
Well, and then I remember that I had 5 deaths and 5 weddings last year, but I was supposed to go to a 6th, so it worked.
6th funeral or wedding?
6th wedding, yeah.
Well, hopefully this year you're above.
I'm going to at least 2 weddings. One will be my own. Yeah. So yeah, life goes. Life goes until it doesn't, and when it doesn't, then someone else has to pay your bills. So
that is correct.
Pay your bills.
Obviously, that's the name of this episode is Pay Your Bills.
Yep, and then it's sponsored by Bills by Destiny's Child. Great song.
That's a great song.
It's a great song.
Underappreciated song for sure.
I don't think it's underappreciated.
No, you don't think so?
No, I think it's appreciated.
You think it was appreciated appropriately?
Oh, yeah. For sure. That was when Destiny's Child had, like 6 people in it?
Yeah.
5, maybe?
I think there was 4, originally 4. And then they went down to 3, Michelle, Kelly, and Beyonce.
And they've had like 8 at some, let's pull it up. But
Oh, yeah.
I think there's been 8 members of Destiny's Child, and I think it peaked at 5. Those are going to be the ones that a lot of people see. But if you go down to the Wikipedia's there.
Ciao.
And then what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and, Chris, I'll have you just scroll down to the bottom. You see members? There's going to be a spot for members. Keep scrolling down a little bit further. Okay, yep, keep going. A little bit further. Going to keep going. Keep scrolling. Yep, a little bit more. Keep going. Going to scroll some more.
Right.
Wow, there's so much.
Right
keep
here?
going.
Keep going,
Keep
babe.
a little further. A little further. A little bit more. Keep going. And they don't have a members list. What the fuck?
What?
Every
Usually
other
they
one.
do, yeah.
And then they say how long they've been in. This one doesn't have it, but there's been a lot of people.
I don't know about
Clearly,
that.
there's something
back
they don't
up.
want us to know.
Past members:
Ooh.
Oh,
Beyonce Knowles, Kelly Rowland, Michelle Williams, Latavia Roberson, Latoya Luckett, Farrah Franklin.
so you're right. There is 6.
But they weren't
Original.
all in at the same time.
time.
Michelle was added later.
Yes, she was.
But yeah, it's because it's been around since 1990 when Beyonce was just a wee little child.
Crazy. Girls' Time was what they were originally called.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Oh.
It's such a. Apparently, they used to get like booed off the stage,
Oh, that's awesome.
but they like knew. You know, like when you know,
You know.
like they knew. The crowd was like, "Boo! You get out! Go on, get!" They're like, "Too bad. We're gonna run this world."
It says after, okay, you can read the beginning. The group began their musical career as Girls' Time, formed in 1990 in Houston. After years of limited success, the quartet known as Knowles, Roland, Latavia, and Latoya were signed. Okay, so that was the original 4. And then they fluctuated, different people. And then Michelle came in. Holla!
Michelle came in and they solidified the end of it. They're just like, we're not going to be a band anymore.
And then now Kelly just works with Fabletics and Beyonce's running the world, and Michelle is no longer with us.
Michelle just pops up every now and then and they're like, oh.
Remember, I was in Destiny's Child.
Like, oh my God, your face looks familiar. Were you in the far back of a Destiny's Child video? Like way back.
All that's behind me now. I'd like to tell you about these books about L. Ron Hubbard.
Have you heard about bills? They just keep coming. No matter how much you think you paid all your bills, and then it's just like, hey, you got to pay taxes on the bills that you paid. You're like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Bills.
goddamn bills. Now, okay, back to
I have bills stuck in my head.
my
I know,
my
me too.
depressing life
Same.
with Mr. Mattfield.
Yes, back to I'm going to talk as silently as I can about a very creeping, sad depression that
Ooh.
sits on top of all of us, and sucks the wind out of the life of ourselves and others around us. Fart noise.
Ooh, sorry.
Perfect. If you have depression, just it's hard to go seek help, but just do it.
I remember I want to say it was the first time you were on. You were telling me about, or telling us about, how the depression that you go through is when you will tell people that you're like, I'm depressed now. I need to, I'm going to go do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the bluntness that you do that with, like, have you always been that way? Were you
No, I wasn't, and I watched like a lot of relationships kind of break because and I know this is true for a lot of people. Like when you have depression, you feel like a burden. You feel like you're a burden to people, and then you create this kind of cloud around you, and then you don't want anyone to get affected by the cloud. So you start to push people away, and then that creates another layer to your depression, because now as you push these people away, now you're like, well, I pushed them away, but you don't realize you did it. You know you did it, but you don't realize you did it. And then you have this other thing where you feel worthless now because all these people that care about you, you've pushed away because you want to protect them. But
right.
They also want to help you. They want to help you, and that's where it gets exhausting as someone that has, deals with a lot of depressed people that don't, like take the time to actually take care of themselves, where you want to help, but you realize there's only so much you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to be there for a depressed person when they reach out, because you get to a point where it's just like, well, this person never does anything to help themselves. And it's like, you have to help yourself. That's the thing. It's like, no one's going to just fix you. In any relationship you're in, no one's going to fix you. You have to fix yourself. Someone can help you do that.
Yeah.
But the burden's not on them. Ultimately, at the end of the day, they could just go away, and then you are still stuck with yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you're the only person you can verify that exists. You're the only version of yourself that you know. Because the version of me that I think I am is different from the version that both of you think of me.
Mm. Keenan and I were talking about like the stuff that you've been through. If you're empathetic as well, like makes it so that when you notice that somebody else is sad, you use what you've been through as a tool to make them feel better.
Yeah.
But you're also like ignoring the shit that you've actually gone through. So most times people, or most of the time, those people aren't like, so what are you actively doing to get better, like to better yourself? It's just all of these, like, you're able to surprise somebody with here's what I've been through, here's why you shouldn't have to deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that you're positive and that you should, be doing this and yada yada yada. We have all the answers, but it's like
it's hard to do it for yourself.
Yeah, it's like putting up the blinds on the shit that you're actually
It's
dealing
like
with.
I know how to fix me, but I won't. Like, there's that part of your depression where you don't think you're worth it.
Yeah.
And like specifically with dysthymia, you hold on to
Can you
things.
spell that for me?
I believe it's DYTHSMIA.
Okay.
I think you just spelled dysthymia.
Dysthymia. I might have messed it up. It's close.
Fine. I'm just teasing.
It's
you.
close enough for it to catch it, but with it, you tend to hold on to like mistakes you've made, and like that's things that I do. I listen to way too much.
Right? Is that
yes.
Is that what it is this time? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This time, yeah. Yeah. This
time,
yeah. But like you tend to hold on to like the mistake you made, and then you focus on it, and then you devalue yourself, and it just keeps you dig your own hole. And like Peter and I have talked about this a lot, but like a lot of people have like a massive depression, and that can last a long time for like 2 years and whatnot, and then it just kind of lifts. But dysthymics are different, whereas like your everyday normal happy, like everyone's normal, which is like, I'm a happy person, things are fine. That's my, oh fuck yeah, I found $20. My normal is my mom just died. So we're completely flipped. For me, my happy is your normal. And for you, your sad is my happy. So like when I see someone sad like that, I can relate to that because that's where I'm always at. That's my space.
Okay.
So I'm like, right. You've entered my world. Hello. Why are you here? What's up? How can I help? And it could last for a long time. And it's like some people get through it, then it just goes away. And other people like me, I've had it as long as I've known. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm 34 years old. I've had it my entire life. I can vividly remember the first time I tried to kill myself. And that was like one of my first memories as like a 6-year-old kid. So like I've always been low.
Were your parents together when that happened?
No, my parents have never been together.
Okay.
In my life. Like my sister, they divorced when she was like 4.
Oh, okay.
They were separated my entire life and then divorced officially in like August of 1986, so before I turned 1.
Okay.
So they've always been apart, and my mom is she's super dead now.
God, she's so dead.
So dead. Like so dead. We keep her on a shelf. That's how dead she is. And like I'm pretty sure that expired too. It's like there's no born on date for cremation ashes.
No,
I feel like
no
it should be like a Best Buy, and then it's like when you like the day before you died. So I think that'd just be funny.
That is pretty funny, actually.
It's like Best Buy,
best used
September 10th, 2017. Because my mom died on September 11th.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it's just a weird thing to have. It's sad.
But yeah, so like I was saying, like so trying to figure out. So you were with your mom then, or
yeah.
like?
Yeah. So my mom had us 5 days out of the week for the most part, and then like my dad would pick us up Friday night at like 5:00, or when we were old enough, we'd take the bus to his house, and then he'd drop us off Sunday at like. I think we had to be home by 6, and my mom and my dad had a pretty contentious divorce. So if we were late, I mean, if like the roads were bad and my dad got us there at like 6:15, my mom would have the phone in hand to call the cops. Like it was really bad. And like my parents didn't really realize, the damage that has on a kid, and like how difficult that is for a kid, because like these are two people that you look up to because they're your parents, and then each one of them is tearing the other one down, and you're just like, I don't even know what to do, because you're little, and you're still trying to learn and navigate through. So then like part of you takes on this this role of like, yeah, he's shitty, isn't he? Yeah, or like, oh yeah, she's shitty. And you're like you become like this little yes man, but you're like a mini therapist. You're absorbing all this like
stuff that a child should not have.
That you shouldn't have to play with, and it's like that's your world. So you're living in a toxic environment, but you don't realize it because that's your norm.
And that takes away from your childhood.
Yeah,
you almost don't have a childhood.
I don't remember my childhood.
Yeah.
Like I've been actively trying to remember just everything from my childhood. So like I'll try to ping into, okay, like what was a song that was playing on the radio during that time? Can I pull a memory from that if I can trigger that? Because I just like actively I remember trying to choke myself to death. And then there's like a long 2-3 year gap. And then I remember like a random birthday party, and then there's like another gap. And then I like remember working at Dairy Queen for like, I remember my memories at Dairy Queen, but I don't remember much of like school or any of that stuff. So my memory is really, really vague.
Spotty.
Yeah.
That's
so,
like mine.
Like
too.
people will tell me stories and I'll be like, oh, I remember this time we did that. And I was like, oh, okay. No, I don't.
But then you try, can I eat something? Will it trigger that?
Yeah.
Remember, I envy Chris because his memory of his childhood is on point. He can recall things that I'm like, I don't, like I remember.
Just slaying pussy.
What?
From day
Ever.
one.
He killed so many cats.
Whatever.
He killed so many cats, and that's how you know he's a serial killer.
He is.
They
But,
called
like,
me the night of the fur table.
Ew.
So I would murder somebody.
He killed so many cats. Well, because he had a nightcap. They're like, no, it's nightcap, and you're like, I mean, for you. For me, though, I'm gonna murder that cat.
But yeah, Chris will talk about all these things, and it's like I remember just in my childhood traumatic events that happened.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
but it's like, did I ever go to birthday parties? I remember one birthday party, and it's because I fell asleep first, and everyone was mean to me because I was the first girl sleepy, and like things like that.
You fucked up. You gotta stay up all night.
Know.
You never sleep. You never sleep.
Never sleep, and then
Yeah, I don't remember. Like so I just remember this literally yesterday. I worked for my uncle from the time I was 12 until I was 20. He had a snowcross, and I like worked with him. And I like completely forgot that I did this for 8 years of my life until literally yesterday. I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I did that for a while. But I just like, there's so many things like that. And it was like anything that my dad would do was always like, you need to be self-sufficient. You need to be able to like get through stuff. So like I remember building like a lot of roofs with my uncles. And, like I remember like working, but I don't remember like childhood, like where you're just like, I'm a dipshit and I almost died because I did something that I didn't know could kill this small little body. Like I don't remember any of that stuff. I remember like birthday parties with my cousins, but I just don't really. I remember like a lot of the trauma, which is kind of backwards because most people block it out. But I blocked out the good and just like stifled
but those
in
traumatic events, you can remember exactly what you were wearing.
Oh yeah,
the smell of yeah. I'm the same way.
I was gonna say this. I think so. For you guys, it's what is to be perceived as a defining moment. Mm-hmm. Like I think that our brains are wired that way. Like in current time, I don't know. Like if back in the day they thought this way, but like when you think about movies, books, things like that say this was the turning point. Yeah, there are. You think that this is the point in my movie where later on in life people go, oh, that's why.
I haven't hit mine yet.
But I think the reason why I remember my childhood so much is because
your parents were awesome.
My ego is so that I was like, oh, I'm going to be famous one day and this will be my defining moment. Or maybe this will be my defining moment. Delusions of grandeur? Is that
I think that's some of that.
I mean,
grandiosity.
You got 60 listeners, dude. That's 2 classrooms, man.
Ooh.
Is it weird that I think of listeners as classrooms of kids?
No, dude.
No.
So like my podcast averages over 120 listens per episode. So I'm like, that is 4 classrooms of first graders or second graders. Like I just think of it that way. I'm like, that's 4 full groups of people, like everyone learning something and taking something away. So for me, I don't think of it like it's only 130 people. I'm like, that's 130 more people that are like hearing stories of other people's experiences, because like a lot of times we're not good at putting ourselves in other people's shoes. We're just like, this person's sad and shitty. Fuck them, And we just kind of toss people aside. I mean, there are, to be clear, full disclosure, throw some people aside.
Yeah.
You'll know who to throw
If
away.
they're sucking your soul away and you are not, you can't better yourself because of a person, get rid of them.
Or if they're generally shitty friends and just shitty people, throw them away.
Yeah.
Let them learn what it is to be human. They will thank you for it.
Make like a woman with full reproductive rights and abort that friend.
I mean, that's murder at that age.
Oh,
but,
murder.
like,
That's what I
yeah,
meant.
you
Murder.
said-
Yeah,
murder,
murder your
but-
friend.
Yeah, I get it.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, you're on the same page. I mean, it's the same concept,
Yeah.
A lot more bloody because they have way more blood at that age.
So far,
True.
pay your bills and
Murder your
friends.
friends that you don't want in your life
Yeah,
anymore.
the ones that are shitty. There are shitty people in the world, and just know you can't fix people. They have to fix themselves.
Yeah.
You can try, but don't put too much stock in not being able to reach everyone.
The thing
It's
is
just-
they have to want to change
Yeah.
for it to happen. Too.
they have to care.
It's
and-
true.
and if
Some
they
people
don't care-
they just are fine with being a shitty person.
There's a lot of
Wait,
people.
are you gonna
that
murder
are
me?
shitty.
Is that what we're finding out right now?
No, left to
Why,
your
are
own
you a really
devices, you'll
shitty
do it
person?
yourself.
Do you feel like you're a shitty person?
Well, I mean, I've said on this podcast probably 100 times that I'm a piece of shit. So
Yeah, but that's the
You've done
depression speaking.
shitty things, but we've all done shitty things.
Yeah, that's the depression speaking.
Yeah.
Shitty people don't know they're shitty people.
yeah, it's true.
right.
They just
And
don't
Tom,
know,
I
or care.
believe you probably met a shitty person that they do not understand how shitty they are.
Yeah, they don't grasp it's the things that like
Compacted shit that they are.
well
Man, now I want to know.
well
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't
Oh,
know.
dude.
I'm just
the
saying.
well
he
the things
probably
that
does.
come to mind
I'd
are
say write it down, but then also you have cameras now, so it doesn't matter.
the things that come to mind are the times when the people that you thought you cared so deeply about turn out to like they've lost value is what it really feels like. That you're like, oh wow, I didn't realize like there's no value in you anymore as far as our
Yeah.
friendship is concerned.
Yeah,
Like-
we've taken this as far as we can.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lose-lose for me now.
Yep. Yeah, because I've
friendship
tried.
should be give take.
I've tried to help friends out who are going through intense stuff, and eventually you're like, I remember the first friend that I learned, like, if I help you anymore, there's a possibility that a meth head could end up at my house, and I can't do that. And even though I love you deeply, like,
Yeah,
this is just where we part ways now.
you gotta protect yourself. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, you're the only one that's with you.
Sorry.
So
That was a burp.
it's like
That was a
That
burp
was a
or a
burp?
baby dragon?
Sorry.
that sounded like a slow gurgle.
Yeah,
It was like a hot dog steamer when the water settles.
right.
Gross.
I worked
Okay.
at Dairy Queen. We had a hot
Okay.
dog steamer.
I used to love Dairy Queen's hot dogs.
They're pretty great, but if you get two in a bun, it means they have been there for like way too long.
Kim Wizard, she could have two in the bud. Bow!
I'm not clapping on that.
I'll clap on that one. Got her.
Man, I saved the fucking Sick Burns sound
You
pad.
did?
But I wasted. Sick Burns was supposed to be right here. But I put a fart sound instead.
Was it gonna be like, oh, sick bird?
It still
No,
sounds
it's-
like Josh.
It's Josh
when you do that
Otremba when
anyway,
he says
though.
Sick Burns.
You get it? 'Cause Josh sounds like a fart. I gotta stand up. My watch told me to.
You're oh, you got an Apple Watch.
Yeah, I have.
Mine
I'm in
probably
the
told me that.
January competition thing,
Oh,
so I
mine
want to fill all my rings.
I
for-
did 31 minutes of exercise yesterday. That's the
Did
first
you?
time I've done that in a long time. Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
at, like- Is this too boring for you?
Oh, I'm gonna cut that part out. Let's get back to those two wieners in your bun. No,
Yeah.
let's get back to.
No.
Let's pull it back. Let's rein it in, guys.
do
We're gonna
you-
do a little ASMR now. You're gonna hear me talk.
Chris has been falling asleep.
Do you fall asleep to ASMR?
I
He likes the
did.
head
Something at the end
scratchy
of the night.
thingy.
Yeah. The what's her name? Geeby? BG?
Oh, I don't listen
do not
to
like
ASMR.
ASMR. It makes me more anxious.
I just remembered that I do this like self-soothing thing with my feet when I sleep. Like I rub one of my feet against the top of my foot.
Do that. But I have restless leg syndrome. That's why I do it.
Yeah, but it like feels
Yes,
great, and then
yeah.
all of a sudden you're just like, and I'm out, because you
Yeah.
can do it to like a specific tempo, and then you can just
Yes,
slow it down.
I do that.
Slow it down.
Landon does
You're
it.
not standing in front of Andy's camera, are you?
No,
No,
just the shoulder.
Just my shoulder.
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, she'd
I'll
have to
sit
go.
down now.
Thank
Kim
you.
would have to go so far.
Oh, gosh, this cord is so short.
Do you guys need an extension?
No.
No, Chris is just
I
a.
can just
I
move
was
the
gonna say
board.
because I can get one for you
Boom.
for very cheap.
He's trying to buy our friendship. He's like, "Do you need anything? Do you want anything? Do you want me to go
I just
to-"
don't like when my friends spend money on stuff that I can get much cheaper for them.
I know.
You know,
Now,
Wait, what were we talking about?
I was gonna go back to the friend thing. Like,
Yeah.
do you remember like when you first like that latching on for too long? Can you think of a moment when you did that?
I feel like I'm kind of a shitty friend
I am too.
because like I don't know.
Not
I like,
wanting to have friends doesn't make you a shitty friend.
well, I just don't
I
like.
want friends, but I feel like I put in so much work than other people, and I'm too exhausted. Like
And see, and I'm the exact opposite. I feel like I'm not worthy of friendship.
that's what
So
it is
like
too.
I just
I was gonna say you don't want to let somebody down for the effort that you don't want to put in, so it's easier to just not have friends.
No.
Dude,
No.
100%. Because you'll be like, I hope they cancel tonight. I hope that I don't have
Well,
to go out and.
see that's the other anxiety side of things. Like,
They might, yeah,
and
having
so
to keep conversation.
But that's
with
what I'm saying
people.
is if you like because that person is a solid human being, letting them down feels bad,
Well,
and
it's
that
like-
creates anxiety.
And especially when they want to really be friends. Like New Year's Eve, like I was anxiously exhausted before. I didn't want to go because I was like, I'm going to have to engage in conversation with people when I worked for 12 and a half hours.
yeah, you
And
need
have-
decompression
and I have
time.
to talk
You
to
need
people.
decompression time. Yeah.
And it's like, okay. What?
It's New Year's Eve, not New Year's Steve.
That's pretty funny. That's when Gronk smashed that Steve Harvey
Oops.
thing.
So when Chris was a rollerblader, when he was like really into the scene, like
When he was into sick tricks, dude.
sick tricks.
Fucking shredding the gnar,
Pew, pew,
bruh.
pew.
I actually
But-
have that shirt on right now. My shirt underneath the sweatshirt says shredding the gnar.
Is that what it is?
But me and I would take Landon to all these things, and like I have a resting bitch face. I can't help it, and I didn't always want to be there, but I was there to support Chris.
Yeah.
And people kind of made it seem like I was Chris's bitchy wife,
Oh yeah.
and I'm not. I wasn't no one annoyed me, and so I feel all this pressure all the time to not be Chris's bitchy wife in the comedy scene because I'm not
Do
that
you-
kind of person.
Do you want to know a trick?
What?
Do you wanna
It's
see a trick?
It's super dumb, but like, yeah, I want to see a trick.
Well, let him finish this.
But so this
yeah,
this is what I do. Like, this is my normal face, which I call it asshole dad face.
Sure.
This is
Yeah,
my normal
okay,
face.
okay.
But now, if you want someone to engage with you, just watch just a subtle change.
Ah.
Eyebrows.
Eyebrows.
So I should go get.
All you have to do
Right.
is just lift them. That's it. It like changes the way your eyes look. It changes the way it changes everything. Like,
It does.
That's very interesting.
That is
Just-
very interesting. I'm
Wait,
gonna-
one more
now
time
at
into
open
your
mics,
camera.
You know what I'm going to do now at open mics? I'm going to do that.
just lift your eyebrows.
That's what those they're eyebrows.
Yeah, I discovered it, and then I told Doima about it, and he's like, I tested it. He's like, I get more tips when I lift my eyebrows. I'm like, it's because
that's
you, when you lift your eyebrows, you're looking at someone like, I'm interested in what you're saying. When like you and I have just normal stoic faces, which is like,
Oh,
no,
I
I'm having a
can't-
good time. I'm just
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
smiler. I come from trauma. You know,
Yeah,
like a smile
yeah.
could get me hit. I could catch a fist if I smile.
Trying
So,
to
like-
catch a fist?
Yeah, like I have to learn not to smile.
Okay.
So then it took me a long time to learn how to actually smile to be like a norm. So, but what I've learned in my studies, just raise your eyebrows.
Wow.
Just
I'm going to do that.
I've noticed at work mine are constantly here.
yeah, because you deal with a bunch of idiots. I'm assuming.
Constant furrowed of like how do we solve this problem? Eyebrows.
Yeah.
Lift your eyebrows up. But you have a face like some people want.
You already
to talk
have
to.
an engaging face.
You want to get in my van?
You don't have a van, Chris. We've been over this.
You know who does?
Pretty
though?
van like though.
Clifton has a van.
He does have a van.
Where is he? All right, come on out, Clifton.
Come on down.
A van door slides open and
Come
he
on
pops
out.
out.
He probably went to see Oprah today.
Did he?
Yeah.
Harpo?
Oprah's in town with Tina Fey.
What?
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
That does seem crazy to not know that. Oprah and Tina Fey are in
Yeah,
town?
in Minnesota right now.
The fuck are we doing here? We're
Well, let's
leaving
watch
right now. Okay, I want to see a sick trick.
Let's watch your sick trick.
What the fuck are Oprah and Tina Fey even doing?
They're
Oh, wow.
Oprah's-
You put Oprah in right away. It said Minneapolis?
Yeah. Yep, surprises runners on the Stone Arch Bridge. That was 19.
She's already running around?
Yeah, they were by the Mary Tyler Moore statue. You didn't see that
For
one?
a St. Paul event. Oh.
Yeah, the tickets were super spendy.
always
One of my
fucking
coworkers
St. Paul.
went to it.
Oh, it's a
So it's like a
Weight
Weight Watchers
Watchers
thing. But it's
Oh,
like
okay.
a bettering yourself.
Tina Fey's got an interesting story.
Yeah, so my coworker,
That scar on her face?
Yeah.
my
Some dude
coworker went
stabbed
to
her.
it.
It's like, fucking what?
Whoa, badass.
Yeah, some dude just like walked up to her, cut her on the face when she was a kid. And
See? She
Yeah.
wasn't working as a nurse in a violent area.
she was like
she still
6.
got stabbed.
It's fucking fucked up.
Interesting. All right, well, we'll plug speakers in at some point.
We're going to figure it
All right,
out
let's
we'll
get
later.
some
figure it
sick
out.
tricks in here.
Sick.
Even though we can't hear the
fucking
cool
tricks,
music with it.
Huh?
dude.
I mean, there's actually no music with this one.
Oh, this
I
one.
was going to
'cause they
say,
took
it's
the
actually
music
probably
off.
good that there's no music because then you don't have to pay royalties.
That too. Well, it's not that you pay royalties. YouTube now just takes
Takes
ownership
it off.
of it.
Yeah.
No, not takes it off even. They'll just say, that's okay. You just can't make any money off of this if you're ever going to monetize.
We're at, all right, so is this you doing the
This
tricks?
is
or
me. Cow. Foop. Flop. Choop tip. Ouch. Choop tap.
Deep V. Look at that.
That's pretty rad, dude.
Life. Rips.
Backward skate. Just want to hear a story about my sick parents.
Hey, let's bend those wrists, eh? I think that's it. Yeah. No,
it's your
that's my
friend.
friend Joel.
Let's watch one more.
One more
Yeah,
Do
what
you have
else
any
you got?
other videos?
of me ripping.
Yeah, I love watching ripping Chris videos.
Trying to think of which one I really fucking rip on.
CH Duke 87. Go ahead and subscribe to that
Yeah,
channel.
there you go. I'll upload nothing ever again.
yeah,
There.
it's been 7 years since you've uploaded something.
Is that what it says?
Yeah,
Oof.
But there's some sick tricks on there.
some sick
Yeah.
Check it
tricks,
out.
some cute
But
videos
some
of our
rips.
kids.
But go to Duck Duck Grey Duke instead, where
Yeah.
we're gonna start doing sketches.
I mean, if you have to do one or the other,
Chris wants to do the sketch where I
CH
do a
Duke 87.
thing, and it's like a brief sketch.
what's the thing that you do?
I don't know, just a random thing. Like Kim calls and makes a tattoo appointment.
Oh no, Kim makes something.
Oh yeah, and he wants to watch me. Like I have to make shit.
I'm
Like,
gonna
but yeah,
steal your
that's what
fox.
would be funny was
What's
Kim makes a phone call.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what it is. Kim makes a tattoo appointment.
Kim makes a bowel movement. Like
no.
Kim
no.
makes a shit and it's just her standing there.
you just hear a bunch of bricks falling.
You don't even need to. I mean, just right now, our bodies are making shit
Literally, it's true.
at
Yeah,
all,
we're
at
digesting all the time.
times. Like, or sloughing off pieces of our inner body. I mean, like
Our
cells.
skin's falling off right now.
Cells go out and in through the outdoor. You know, it's,
What a
Sounds
wild
weird.
ride.
right? We're just a weird conduit.
Okay, now, so I do want to talk about like.
Yes, I'm listening.
Well, you know what? Actually, we're 40 minutes. Let's do
How long do
Let's
these
do What the
episodes usually
Health?
go?
long as we want.
3 to 7 hours.
Yeah,
3 to 7
yeah.
hours.
Oh yeah, I have all day, and it's only 3 o'clock.
I go Joe Rogan style.
Ooh, we do DMT and then figure
Wait,
out what's
okay,
wrong.
ready? We're gonna
What are we doing?
we're gonna do a what the health. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What the Health with Duck Duck Grey Duke.
Oh, I like that. Okay, you explain this segment, or am I gonna do it?
You
So
explain.
Chris has this idea that we need to do what the health because I apparently am a nurse and I should
All right.
know
Well, when
about
you
health.
describe it like that,
no,
What's
but
this?
we started the podcast to
so
be
when I go out partying with all my girlfriends because I have so many friends, I can keep my
cocaine.
cocaine in there,
Oh,
or
that's
my
rad.
driver's license and my debit card.
That's rad. I like that.
Yeah, it was $4. This
It-
case was $4 on Amazon.
Shit.
I know it's actually really nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyways,
So yeah, we need to talk about people want to learn things when they listen to podcasts, which I am the same. I listen to murder podcasts because I want to learn
How to get away with
murder.
murder.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, here's
Exactly.
the thing. The people that get away with murder are not the ones you hear on murder podcasts.
It's true.
So,
So
just
I'm learning
saying,
what not to do.
throwing ads on Craigslist. Hey, are you a murderer that's never been caught? I want to know your skills. hook it up on the DL and then give them your burner phone and hope that it's not the cops.
I think you can actually
Yes.
find that service on Fiverr.
Ooh.
I think they have murderers on Fiverr that will help. They won't murder
What's
for you,
Fiverr?
but
Fiverr, you can. It's like a crowdsourcing. You can just be like, "Hey, can you slap this sick bass line?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, all right."
and they'll do it for a $5.
Is that where that $5 was randomly charged in our bank account?
Yeah, it's called Fiverr.
Okay, anyway.
I just explained it.
This is what the health.
What the health?
So this is the one I thought of when I was
Oh,
in the
wait,
shower.
wait, real
What?
quick. Everybody be quiet. What the health? I just wanted to have that in there, too.
Okay. A lot of times I feel like a lot of people who come on our podcast talk about mania or being manic.
Uh-huh.
And I just wanted to talk about real mania and being manic.
I mean, I don't have too much experience
I
in the
know.
manic world.
I don't either.
Because like my depression isn't manic.
Yeah.
It's just constant.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't have this like,
So you don't
oh
have the
no,
bipolar.
I'm
Yeah.
peaking. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I am sad, or I think I might not be sad.
Yeah.
Like those are my speeds.
Mm-hmm.
But I know there are a lot of people that do fluctuate between
Mania
sad
and
and,
depressive.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah.
Yep. So, and I work in mental health, and I've seen a lot of manic patients. Especially change of seasons is bad for people with bipolar.
or it'll
We see
fuck your
more
brain
mania.
up. Yeah, it'll fuck your brain up real fast. I
Yep.
mean, you're used to a
Even
certain
the
amount of
depressive.
sunlight. You're
Yeah.
used to a certain amount of temperature. You're used to, specific things. Like even like dumb things like I have to scrape my fucking window on my car.
Or start my car and
or
let it run,
wake
and
up
hopefully
7
someone doesn't-
minutes earlier.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not doing any of that
I don't
shit.
wanna do
I'm gonna be
anything.
late for work. I'd rather be late for work.
Absolutely.
I know.
That's
So
what I do.
we'll talk about mania. You guys ready?
Let's do this.
Okay. So according to the DSM-5,
Wait,
It's right, not 4, 5.
we're not 4. We're on 5 now.
did the Animaniacs suffer from mania?
I believe they did.
Well, let's go.
You go
through-
ahead.
Let's go through the criteria, and we can talk about cartoon characters that we feel were manic.
Let's diagnose
So the
them.
DSM-5
Mhm.
is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, but we're on number 5 now. So this is what the definition of mania is. It's lasts over a week, at least over a week, and present through most of the day. So this is like the formal definition. So a distinct period of abnormally and persistently elevated, expansive or irritable mood, persistently increased goal-oriented activity or energy. So sexually, socially, that kind of stuff.
Why'd
So
you look at me when you said sexually?
inflated self-esteem or
Get in there.
grandiosity. So my psychiatrist that I work with on the mental health unit, we talked about this the last year that we did education. So people are like, I don't have to sleep. I don't have to sleep. Like I want to be
I
awake.
don't feel like I need to sleep.
But this is the decreased need for it. Like they legitimately
Yeah.
do not need to sleep, and they can go for days. More talkative or pressured speech, so they talk really fast, and it's really hard to understand them. Flight of ideas. That I feel like I see that one a lot with people who are manic. They go from one topic to the next real quick.
Mhm.
And then they're distracted. Obviously, if you're having flight of ideas, they're very distracted. Psychomotor agitation, which means pacing, fidgeting. They're constantly
Yeah.
moving, constantly looking around. And the risky behaviors, increased spending. I feel like a lot of people, they're like, yep, I spent $15,000 in the last couple weeks. Risky behaviors, so increased sexual activity.
Unprotected sex.
Unprotected sex.
Multiple partners.
Multiple partners, yep. Or go,
Sharing needles.
Yep.
Don't do
Yep.
that.
Drugs. They might not be someone who normally uses drugs, and all of a sudden they're using.
If you're going to do
substances.
drugs, use them safely.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm not
Get
here to
clean
judge.
needles.
I'm not here to judge.
James Thompson, instead of using needles for heroin, would inject it into his nostrils, like with a syringe that doesn't have the needle in it.
Yeah.
Like that you would for kids.
Interesting.
Shoot it into his nose.
Huh.
So
James was my first comedy friend.
Really?
when we talk about mania, you correlate it to bipolar disorder. And did you know there's 2 different bipolars?
Wait, what?
Yeah. So
There's
bipolar
1
1
and
is
2.
where there's the mania, and bipolar 2 is more like the depression. They have less of a manic episode. So, but bipolar 1s will have a full manic episode. And with hypomanic people, they have mood swings, increased elevation. So, one thing that I've seen too, if someone has bipolar disorder that's not been diagnosed, sometimes like medications can actually bring on a manic episode.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we've had people
Like
who
what?
like antidepressants, which is interesting.
Oh.
So with bipolar, one with the manic. So I've seen people who like have never really been treated. Now they're having they get put on an antidepressant and now they're having a manic episode, and then you can be like, oh, it's because you have bipolar disorder. But sometimes antidepressants work with people with bipolar too, though. So I'm not saying that. Change of seasons.
It can affect.
It can, yes.
That's not necessarily.
It's not necessary.
There are side
one
effects
thing
to every
too-
medication.
There is. One thing that, too, I've noticed working in mental health is like prednisone is a big medication
It's a
that
steroid,
will
right?
affect your mental health. Yeah. So we've seen people, so who they have bronchitis. Now they're put on prednisone, and now their mental health is like they're not doing well.
It's also like another sign of dementia. It could actually just be like a UTI.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you could have
More
dementia,
confusion.
but it's just like, does it hurt when you pee?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's one thing in the working in my role too, is that we will have these older adults come in and they're like, yeah, they're more aggressive in the nursing home. They're confused. They're hallucinating. It's like, okay, get a urine UA on them. Let's see if they're, and 9 times out of 10, they have a UTI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
We probably don't want
It's
to
the
talk
first
about,
photo
I
that
can't
comes up.
I can't prescribe medications, but antipsychotics, mood stabilizers, stuff like that.
Talk to your doctor about those
SSRIs.
things.
Yes, SSRIs, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
So-
there's different types of treatment for different types of people.
Not everything works for everybody, which is unfortunate. It's a trial and error, which sucks.
Be
but
willing to try.
Yep.
Which brings us
CBT too, cognitive behavioral therapy. We'll try and rewire that brain of yours a little bit.
Yeah.
brings us to our first sponsor, 4hims.com. Get all of your unprescribed medication.
Is that really?
Yeah. You can
You know, and I believe
the
the
Silk
Animaniacs
Railroad.
probably had manic episodes.
Yeah,
Wacko,
for sure.
Yakko, and Dot. One of them is mentally ill.
Oh, for sure.
Which one? Yeah.
Tigger.
Tigger is a manic?
He's manic for
He's
sure.
manic for sure. Pressured speech.
Hmm.
Constantly fidgeting. Constantly jumping.
Either that or
From
he's a
topic to
drug
topic.
addict.
Could be
Yeah.
that too.
That's hard too. Like working in the ER is like, is this person on drugs?
Hmm.
Or are they like,
Yeah.
is it their mental health?
How do you tell? You know,
Urine drug screen. But then you don't know, because sometimes someone, and one thing we've been seeing a lot, we'll have to do this a different episode too, is that we see a lot of people who are predisposed, they have
predisposition
to having a mental illness, and then all of a sudden they use drugs, and then
and
brings it
snap,
out.
There it is.
Yep,
Mhm.
there it is.
Boom,
So just don't do
there
drugs.
It is.
It's like Bruce Banner being introduced to gamma rays.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, just be really careful about
Yep.
stuff. You know, like
You
I
could
don't
type,
drink when
is-
I'm sad
Yeah.
because it's like, why
It
double
makes it
down?
worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why depression squared?
Yeah.
You know,
But I try to be
What do you want?
understanding. Put is Tigger manic. Let's see what people say.
is Tigger manic? I see.
Yeah.
Enter.
Is Tigger bipolar?
Oh, there we go.
Click.
We acknowledge infection is recurrent risk-taking behaviors, impulsive. Yep. It's him.
Well,
Sticking shit up his butt.
also he's always using that hard R on his name.
Grrr.
T-I double
Got
gut.
I'm gonna stay out of that one.
You don't.
I'll talk to you guys off camera about something that happened to me
So
last
was
week
what?
that I have.
Were you assaulted by Tigger?
No, it's different.
Were you
Yeah,
assaulted by a group of Tiggers?
Like I just it's something
This
that
is off
happened.
the mic.
It's something that happened that I just like. I don't want to put on blast, but I need to tell everyone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It's like one
Can
of those
I
things.
can I finish this with the health real quick though?
Yes.
So go see your doctor. I feel like a lot of people are dropping labels like I'm manic right now just because they do have like a day of heightened like because I have days where I'm like I'm gonna clean the whole house. I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna get that done. I'm not a man. I don't have mania.
Yeah.
Like it has to affect your life at least in some point. I sleep. I do all these things. Some days I don't feel the need to sleep, but it's not greater than a week and stuff like that. So don't be quick to throw out I'm manic right now or I'm stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Labeling things is a fun and scary thing because it helps them bring them to the forefront. But also, if you're not, then you become an example of what someone's label is for that,
Yes.
and that becomes a poor example. Like I'm depressed,
Yeah.
but I also went to school for psychology.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
yep.
like,
yep. Or someone being like, I'm so bipolar right now. No, people legitimately have bipolar and they struggle just because your moods are up and down right now.
You can
Could
just
be a hormonal
sad.
thing. Yeah, you can
Like,
just
you
be
can
sad.
just-
I think
you
that's
could be affected by things that have happened to you.
Real
That
things.
is just a
That's
thing.
a normal thing.
I-
That's like I talk about this all the time. People that come in with anxiety, like some people just don't want to feel things, and that's not normal. It's normal to feel angry. It's normal to feel sad. It's normal to feel anxious. That's fight
Yeah.
or flight. If we don't feel anxiety at all, if a bear is going to come at you, you need to feel anxious.
And you're just like, bring it, brah.
Yeah.
Like there's,
that's not.
Yeah.
So let's not medicate people to feel absolutely nothing, because that's not real either.
Yeah,
we
that's
need
like
to feel things.
one of the reasons why I haven't been medicated is I embrace the feelings. Like I feel like I cherish things more when I like know what the depths feel like.
Yeah.
So, not saying that is the best approach,
But
to be clear.
Everybody's
But that is
different.
my
that
decision.
works better for you.
So,
yeah.
you get your own decision, but
And I have like severe anxiety, and I'm not medicated. I've just learned to cope with it, and I know what works for me. And I don't like feeling numb. I don't like not feeling anxious either. I feel uncomfortable not feeling anything, so I'd rather feel something. So I just learned what works for me.
exposure therapy.
Yeah. I think in certain groups of friends or cliques or whatever, when the common theme becomes about depression, one person opens up, which causes another person to open up. People who try to be like feel like they're involved will try to analyze themselves and yeah, when they mislabel, so they start to mislabel things to say, I'm depressed, I'm this and that.
Yeah.
When
But
really
you
it's
can have absolutely a depressed mood. That's depressed
right. I'm
mood.
saying it seems like it happens a lot now because we're trying to be a more accepting society
Absolutely.
of the things that people are going through.
Yeah.
But along with that, you have people who just want to be involved, and it turns in. Not that I don't think people are intentionally trying to like make your shit seem less.
Yeah.
They just want to seem like they're a part of it too.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that.
There's
people
also
need
some people
less,
too
yeah.
that are trying to like
No, I'm
empathize with you, and they just like, and this is the fault of mine in some of the episodes of the podcast where I'll like try to relate with someone so they don't feel as alone.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for me, that's when I feel like the conversation tends to get deeper because it's like, oh, okay, I'm not being judged. So I just need to like find better ways to do that. So that's kind of what I'm exploring with like my interview style and things like that as I go further into what I'm doing.
Yeah, I forget how Keenan worded it, but when he was on, he goes, "Oh, I'm Chris Duke. Let me ask you a question so that I can tell you about why I went or how I went through that thing." Like, it's like, fuck.
I love Keenan.
I do that.
You've just gone through a lot in your life.
No, I know, but like I do. I want to say things a lot.
What?
I like talking. I
You
like
love to
packing.
talk?
The thing that
Maybe
like,
because you have ADHD too, diagnosed as an adult as well.
yeah,
Oh, sorry.
like the thing that like bothered me the most is like,
Do you think school would have been easier for you if you were diagnosed younger?
I can't say yes to that because school is very easy for me.
Oh.
I'm highly intelligent. I can figure out what a person wants me to say because I grew up in a manipulative house.
Yeah. Yep.
So like you give me an essay, knock the shit out of that. I know exactly what you want. And
So was your mom manipulative?
big time.
Did she have
Big time.
borderline personality disorder?
Yeah, I think she had dissociative identity disorder is what she was diagnosed with, I
okay.
believe. DID, anxiety, PTSD, depression. She didn't get bipolar. She had a whole like rail car of stuff.
Maybe some cluster B traits. That's like
a lot of
that's like that's a borderline diagnosis, but not formal diagnosis. Cluster B traits. You have traits of a borderline, but you're not diagnosed as those. So you may have some of the like risky behaviors, stuff like that.
Yeah, she wasn't
Issues with relationships.
Yeah, her whole life was weird.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, she started to kind of finally put it together, which was the sad part because then like, for me, I had like a deeper depressive state because I was already depressed, but then like I had another one. Like this, one thing that bothers me is when someone says, "Oh, you'll grieve on your own time." I will slap you in the mouth if you say that to me. If you ask me how I'm doing and I say fine, I'm not saying that for me. I'm saying that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because do you really want to be like, oh, well, every morning I wake up and I go to call my mom and she's not there anymore, so I can't make that mistake. And then I think of how I ignored her calls for 5 years, and that makes me feel like a piece of shit. But I did that because she was using drugs and alcohol and making me feel lesser as a person, so I had to push that person away. But what if I wouldn't have pushed her away? Maybe she wouldn't have used all the drugs and alcohol, and it like becomes a cycle. It's like,
yeah.
so
Yes,
when
but
you
that is
ask
someone
me,
asking you, how
are
you
you doing? Oh, you'll grieve on your own time. Motherfucker, I am grieving right now. I'm just
Yeah.
doing you a favor so you can check your box of being a nice person. But you're not my therapist. I'm not here to make your day worse. I know that you're trying to be kind, so I'm going to give you the easy out. That is all it comes down to.
Man, I would love to throw that at someone though and see how they respond.
Yeah, you'll grieve on your
Everyone
own
just
time.
everyone just says, "I'm fine. I don't know why you said all that
It's like
stuff.
'cause-
I'm so uncomfortable right now."
Yeah. It's because what I've learned is when you actually tell someone how you're doing, they tend to push you away.
Oh,
Because it's a lot
yeah,
of work.
yeah.
And they're like, I don't want to do that job.
I know.
It's like, all right, well, don't need to do that job.
I feel that's like those.
I think that's why I'm a
superficial
shitty
friendship.
friend. I think that's why I'm
how
a
I
shitty
think
friend.
yeah, me too. Because like my friends will be like, hey, how's it going? And it's like once I start really unraveling how I'm really feeling, then
Yeah.
it's like I don't hear from them for a long time. So it's like now I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, things are good. They're really good. This is what's great. Blah blah blah.
I'm gonna check in a new season,
Yeah.
and it is April, so we should be in spring. Hey, how's it going? You're like, oh, fucking
Yeah.
fine, I'm fine.
Yep.
Made it through another winter.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like I have a lot of those kind of superficial friendships.
And that's one thing like I said
I know,
before,
we're
I
very
appreciate
different
about
people.
you. No. I was saying about Andy.
Mm-hmm.
You're whatever. So, nope.
Yeah.
So what I. Oh.
That one's a sad fart.
Yeah. It's the
I don't know what this one does.
That's the intro.
I like it though.
Welcome back to Duck Duck Grey Duke with your hosts, Chris and Kim Duke.
Oh.
We've all been fingered, Chris.
One way the world fingers.
But have
us.
you been?
Oh, I like how it goes.
Yeah, I like the long rippers. Those are always the funnier fart.
Yeah,
and if you
yeah.
can follow it up with a second
Is
fart,
that a real fart?
Those are my actual farts from an
Oh
episode.
my gosh,
Wh-
gross!
one that we recorded with
Your
my
little
dad.
Butthole did that. Ew.
Because it was this one first. And he was like, was that the obligatory fart? And I was like, one of many. In fact.
Uncle
And then I
Jesse and the
started-
Rippers right there.
Yeah, started laughing my ass off.
You're
But
a
yeah.
Full House character in real life.
Back to what.
Oh, wait. Can I say one more thing? Disclosure with the what the health. I'm just providing information.
You're a mental health provider.
I'm
you
not-
did
I'm
some
not-
This is not a
research on the
diagnosis.
computer.
I did some
You're
research,
not-
but I know. I
Mm-hmm.
can say I've worked with manic patients in the emergency room quite a few times. I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's mania does not look the same, and I will point that out.
It's true.
They do not have to be pacing. They do not have to be hyperverbal. They don't have to have all these things going on. If it's a change in your character and you don't usually talk, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're talking like I am right now, and that's not like you.
If you're suddenly
That-
a gambling
yes.
addict, like things like that
Things
can
like
happen.
that.
Yeah.
Or you're like now
If you like Yag
talking
bombs
more
now,
sexually than you ever have, and you're usually pretty laid back. That can be mania. So, there.
diagnose everyone.
Diagnose
You're
everyone.
all manic.
Pay
Done.
your bills.
Call us.
Murder your friends.
Diagnose
Diagnose
everyone. Call us. Give us a call. I'll put Chris Duke's phone number on Instagram. Call him. We will diagnose you as a trio.
Should we?
We'll figure it out.
Should we call Alex and ask him about his dysthymia?
Yeah, call Alex. Come on.
I was kidding.
Oh.
He already knows what he did.
No, okay. Now, are you good?
I think I just don't want to offend anybody. See,
Oh,
that's the anxiety in
yeah.
me. I feel like I've offended
See,
someone who
yeah,
hasn't
but
even listened
I
to
feel
the
like you
podcast
also
yet.
have credentials as a psychiatric nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
but
that.
I can't diagnose, but I can
You can
say
say,
to a provider,
these are things that
"These
I
are
have
some
experienced.
symptoms." Or yeah, I've experienced.
You know, these are experiences I've seen. These are things that I've witnessed.
Yes.
One thing that for me set me off with my depression
Don't.
is when I was
Really?
having my little tonsils taken out.
Oh.
The doctor was like, are you depressed? And before I could answer, she was like, nah, you seem like you're a happy-go-lucky guy, and then just moved right on. And I was like, yeah, I just need to get my tonsils on. She's like, well, normally, I'm like, they touch. She's like, all right, I'm going to get you that specialist. $365 later for 45 seconds and told him happy-go-lucky. Like, that is broken as fuck.
You should start bringing invoices into the doctor.
This is what your diagnosis cost me. $365. $1 per day of the year. Plus it was a quarter, so I also had, but it was, I don't know, remember what it was, but it was a lot of money and it was stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
And my surgery cost $17,000. So
now
keep your tonsils.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep them. What about what's the shark
What?
tits?
Oh, shark
thing?
tits.
What's the shark tits thing?
Oh yeah.
No, this is the
This
bottom.
one, right?
That's the one that's literally called Shark Attack.
Oh, shark bite.
No, go back. Bottom left. Top. There you go.
Oh, there. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, and that shark just chomps around the board. And your whole goal is to not get sucked into its mouth hole.
Oh, hell yeah.
I never played it, but Shark Attack, this shark eats like a maniac.
Oh, you know what?
He's coming to get you. That's the commercial for Shark Attack. There's so many fucking games that I was like, that looks so cool. Like, Don't Wake Daddy. I was like, Don't Wake Daddy.
Oh, my
you know?
God, yeah.
Dad doesn't even live at this house. How the fuck am I going to wake him up? It's just my mom, me, and my sister here. How am I going to wake my dad up? That's like, oh, this is so hard. Like, I can walk around the house. I have no worries
That
about
guy looked so weird, too. He looked like he was from, what's that, Lazy Town? Have you ever heard of that show?
I don't have kids.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there's memes galore of it.
Shark attack! This shark is like a maniac! It's Shark Attack. Just roll the dice, and when your color comes up, move your fish fast. The fish that survives will be the winner. So don't be last, or you'll be the dinner. Shark Attack! What are you gonna do? It's coming! It's coming! It's coming! It's coming to get you!
Shark Attack, the game where the shark will fuck up your friendships.
Dude, also, that shark ate a fucking boat full of people.
He had a whole yacht. That shark don't fuck around.
You know what?
That
was
does eat
actually,
like a maniac.
It was a subliminal message, which is to eat the rich.
Ooh.
Right?
I don't see why not. You gotta put your password in there, Chris.
Yeah, it's Matt
At hotmail.com? What are you doing?
I've had this computer for a long time.
I think Hotmail's been dead the entire time you've had this computer. Don't lie to me.
All right, you ready to pick out?
What do we got here?
Oh, are you just picking? Oh, you're laying them out for him. Kim Duke is laying out the schnacks for Andy, so I'm gonna play the thing while we wait for that.
Why are there 5 pieces in this?
I don't know.
Make 6 from a packaging perspective. 6 is easier for you.
Pretty weird.
This is birdseed, right?
I know. I look at that. I'm like, that's birds. That's what my birds would eat. My cockatiels growing up, they would eat things like that.
$1.39.
We got all these at the Hispanic supermarket in Monticello.
Oh.
It's pretty dope. They make the best fucking tamales
Ever.
Oh, duh.
How can I not ever remember the goddamn name of that store?
The supermarket.
Now, for me, it comes down to what I believe is choking hazard in Spanish.
Looks delicious. Though.
Cucaraza.
There had to have been one on here because look at it.
No, it says 5 pieces. So if it was, they just pulled it apart and are like, it's good. They went out of their way to make it more difficult. They could have just put 6
That's
in there.
funny.
And I mean, then it could come down to a weight thing, too. I'm really not sure what choking hazard. Tamarind spoon? Yeah, okay, I don't like tamarind. Let's do this weird thing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hell yeah.
I thought for sure last night I was looking at the snacks. I'm like, oh, he's gonna pick the spoons.
Because
I
the
mean, I'll do
heroin.
both.
No,
But-
it's fine.
What's the
to
name of
say
this
it?
thing? Yeah, you got to do some.
This
reading.
one is Alegras de Amaranto, which is a natural amaranth seed candy. It's a product of Mexico. Allergy, packed in a facility on shared equipment that may contain peanuts, tree nuts, soy wheat sowed, milk, eggs, and FD
You're
and
allergic
C
to everything.
colors.
Can you eat that?
I can't eat anything, so I just eat everything. That's
You wanna
really what it is.
Show that to your camera.
And this is where we zoom in.
Is that a
product.
lion?
192 What an odd number.
There's a lion with the. He's like a superhero.
Yeah. El Super Leon.
Is that? Did I spell it right?
Yep. Alegras de Amaranto.
Oh, look at.
Oh, so
Oh.
there's like this is shit that you can make at home too. Apparently.
I mean, I'd like mine with chocolate chips on top.
I mean, to be clear, this doesn't look like it wasn't made in a home.
It almost looks like a granola bar, kind of like the way
That's-
that you can
Yeah.
your own recipes.
It looks like moon foam stuff.
Ooh, it does. Moon sand?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, funny.
Oh.
Alguerias de Amaranto.
That one looks good.
I know.
Rosita? What was the weird one we had last time? It was like marshmallows that taste like crack.
Yeah. Two can dance if you want to. Two can leave your friends. You see with the bird thing? I'll put a little toucan.
Okay, I'm going to do this and get shit all over your carpet.
It's fine. It's a new rug.
There you go.
You did. You're supposed to smell it first.
Oof.
Well, it smells like horse food.
It feels like styrofoam.
Jesus, this thing is insane. It actually does feel like that moon foam thing you guys were talking about.
Oh, fuck. That tastes like a smell that the horse has.
Ew, it does.
Doesn't it feel, now that you're eating this, doesn't it feel like you can smell what this bird smells like? Mm-hmm. We're watching a bird eating
One time,
out of a bowl
I
of
had the
fruit.
noodles at the Chinese restaurant in the mall, and it tasted like this. It tasted like horse. I cannot eat noodles from the Chinese restaurant anymore.
I eat all the horse.
So, Kim, how many stars?
None. Half of a star.
You got any?
It's definitely not as. No, I have to go get more soda here.
Oh.
It's my spit.
Ew. I am also out
Ew,
of
my
soda.
spit's ew.
Well, I don't want to just drink your spit. What if I just
Not like
spit
someone
into your
spit in
mouth?
my
Hey,
mouth.
see how I beat you to it? Get
One time
out of
Chris
here.
was super drunk and we were intimate and he spit in my mouth. Not once. And I like made a face, but twice. I'm like, where in his mind does he think like, I'm going to do it one time, see how it goes.
It was the eyebrows thing. See, if you'd have lifted your eyebrows, you probably
If
had
I
your
lifted
eyebrows
it,
lifted.
I probably lifted
You probably
them
had
and
them
he's
up.
like, oh, she likes it.
Like, oh, the eyebrows are up. There it is.
The next video after the bird thing says, warning, you will laugh till you fart.
Super.
I'm not going to get a
Super
soda yet.
funny.
I
in
want to watch
movies.
this.
No, I'll wait.
Okay.
Andy, let's
Monster or soda?
just our soda would be fantastic.
Do you want a monster soda? They make those.
They do, yeah.
They're gross.
So now I'm excited. I started talking to you at the beginning. Maybe it was the end of November. I think it was either just before or just after the roast.
I think it was right after September ends.
Yeah.
That's when you
Was
woke
it?
me up. And then, that's
Actually,
my
you know what?
only
Let's talk
plug
about
for
the
drinking.
roast real quick.
Yeah.
Did it meet your expectations as far
Dude,
as...
it was super fun. It was great. It really was. We had a small crowd, but we were also 45 minutes out of the area that knows me.
Well, what I mean is as far as what the comics wrote,
Yeah.
do you
it was
feel
really
like
good.
they
Yeah. Everyone
lived
did
up
great.
to-
Dude, everyone
Hell
did
yeah.
great. Even you.
even me.
Even you. Sweet little baby boy.
But then I think that was the first time I met Royal.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I want to say it was then we started talking about sketches and stuff.
Yeah.
Because when I listen to you guys talk, you talk in like a pitch form.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be... okay, so
Do
then...
you want me to read sketch pitches? Because I have a whole
I started
thing
saying...
labeled sketches.
I started saying, I can't do anything until January.
Yeah.
And now January
It
is
is
here.
January.
So now I'm fucking super excited. So explain to people who the fuck Royal Stein is.
Is that the song by Lord? Oh,
Are
it's
you
Royals.
gonna do that?
Sorry.
Are you gonna chew into the
So-
microphone?
I want to laugh.
Royal Stein. I'm just gonna pull up his Instagram here because he is like one of the most, or not Instagram, but it's Twitter. He's one of the most active people I know on Twitter, and oh man, he is just Royal is a fucking delight. His Twitter, if you want to check it out, is at Royal_Stein STEIN. So Royal is a friend of mine. He does comedy in Minneapolis. I would say by default, Royal is an alt comic. So he does stand up, but he's funnier when he's being himself.
Right.
And like he's just like
Royal. Is he the one that looks just like you?
No.
sort of.
What?
But like a sexier
You
version.
think Royal looks like him?
I don't know. I don't know who Royal is. I'm gonna look him up.
It looks, I mean, there's a lot of people that look like me. What the fuck is that video? Okay. Yeah, Royal's great.
Oh, yeah, you brought him, and I'm like, is that his brother?
Yeah, we've done some sketches
That's
together
funny.
before.
That's his Twitter. That's not a picture of him.
The
There's a picture of him right there.
Oh, yeah. That's
On-
funny. You brought him to Nordic, and
Uh-huh.
I'm like, is that his, like, are they related? It was really weird.
in spirit.
You guys have the same soul.
Yeah,
Together as
and
one.
Royal's great. We've done some sketches together. Like him and I did some we did this show that we called Behind the Scenes, and it was just him
Shit,
and I.
he tweets a lot.
He's also got a lot of followers.
Hey.
Literally, he's gained 3 followers since I looked at him on my phone seconds before.
Wow.
Not
Refresh
even
it. Let's see if he gets any more.
He's
2651.
got 2651
Oh.
for followers.
We'll try again in a minute.
He's so fun though. But he's we've done a couple sketches together. We did this one little series called Behind the Scenes. So we would be on scene helping someone else record their sketch, and then we'd write sketches in our quick behind the scene moments.
He looks like if you and Matt Doima had a baby together.
Ooh.
Like his face.
Right.
I think it's his eyebrow eyes.
I think
Oh, I
he,
could see
knows.
that. Yeah, I could see
Like
that.
not the bottom part, but like right here looks like Matt.
I
right
think
here.
he looks like the son of the Mythbusters hosts.
Ooh, yeah.
Right?
That's a deep V. He's trying to show that nip. He's trying to do a nip slip, but
Girl, he just asked to see that nip. He'll show him all day. Ooh.
release the nips.
Pop them titty.
Yeah.
He
This
looks
one.
like he used to be
I didn't know that you could have pictures. See, I haven't used Twitter in probably 10 years.
Twitter's delightful.
I know.
If you
I'm
wanna
not
feel-
quick and witty, and so
You don't need to be quick and witty.
I feel like that's what
You
that
have
just-
kids and animals. Those two things sell.
Yeah, it's true.
Sex, kids, and animals. You can sell those for so much money.
Yeah. But anyways, so we're gonna jump into sketchy sketch stuff, and I'm so excited because Royal's like normal speak is very not completely Tim and Eric, but like comedy bang bang Tim and Eric.
Yeah.
If you like that improv-y type of stuff, Royal is a living
Oh,
embodiment of that shit, and it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
he's a good boy. Bro's a good boy. He's just a good boy.
The first thing I saw of him was that fucking video of him doing stand-up to stuffed animals.
Oh man, the video that he has as his pinned thing on Twitter is like one of my favorite videos. That's I make my own hold music. If you can stand that, we can talk when I'm done expressing myself. And it is
Are you gonna play it on the pod?
just like one of my favorite little things.
I thought you were gonna do a fart noise.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Clearing them bowels.
So I would never buy that snack again.
No, it was
That was
terrible.
the worst thing. Not as bad as those broccoli florets. What else did we have that was I almost threw up?
I kind of want to try those spoons, if I'm being honest.
Well, you missed your fucking opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay, so
They look so good. No one's gonna eat
They
them. Can we
do-
just try them?
They don't
someone is
really-
gonna eat them
they
because
don't
this is
look
what
that
happens.
good.
So the last batch that we, or like the previous batch we
Yeah, I
got,
know, we
remember?
just had a big bag.
It
We
was
just-
the last thing. It was like everybody was like, "I'm not doing that one," and then whatever the last. I wish I could remember what
It
it
was
was.
last thing, but it was delicious.
Yeah, it ended up being good.
I mean, it looks squishy.
I wonder if it's so. We've gotten a lot of the things that we bought there is like this corn syrupy squishy thing, and it has that chili flavor to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably what it is.
That one's tamarind. It's a tamarind spoon.
Chili. It says yeah,
Me
sugar, corn syrup,
constanita.
citric acid, chili, salt, artificial flavor.
Okay. Now
I feel like they just spend so much money on those spoons too. Like
Yeah.
what?
I know.
There's plastic over the spoons and rubber bands, rubber banding the spoons to the plastic spoons.
I think it's one of those
But
warehouses
these
where
are
they're
quality candies.
where they're like, we have all of these leftover spoons. What the fuck are we gonna do with them?
We bought 8,000 pounds of tamarind. What the fuck are we going to do with 8,000 pounds of tamarind? Well, I got a bunch.
Oh, dude.
I'm that factory from Alanis Morissette's song where it's 10,000 spoons.
Dude, this could be the sketch. Is two guys at a warehouse going, "What am I gonna do with all these spoons?" Oh, you think you got a problem? I got 20 kilos of tamarind I need to get rid of.
I've got all this weird packaging. It doesn't make sense. Cucaracho.
And then Royal comes in with a bunch of rubber bands.
You guys just gonna talk about skits now?
No, sorry.
Skits
I mean,
and sketches.
'Cause
We're gonna
sketches.
we're gonna start making some sketchies.
Yeah,
and
so-
then, you'll see some of those come out, and then you'll probably see some of them never come out because you never know. You know,
but
there's a
soon
lot.
they will be under the guise of Duck Grey Duke Media.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rather than just, so I won't label everything and put
Dr.
everything on the
Grey Duke
podcast.
Media.
So you'll want to go to the YouTube channel where our
Yeah.
podcast will be, and also these sketches that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited to do sillies with my friends.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. What else do you want to know? What do you need? What do you need from me? You know, listeners, text me right now. I'm gonna check my phone just to see who texts me, and if that's you, listeners. Oh, it's Michaela. Let's see. Ooh.
While you've got your phone out,
Yes.
do you have any dates coming up?
I think Michaela and I are gonna go on a date maybe tonight.
Sure.
Probably in the next couple days.
Nice.
I do have a couple shows coming up. When
there.
is this gonna come out?
About a week.
Okay, so
a week
like
ago.
January 17th, you think?
Yeah, around there.
All right, so Friday, January 17th, you can catch me at Walzer Subaru in Burnsville, Minnesota at 9 a.m. I'm getting tires and pads put on my car. And then at 2 p.m., I have a counseling session, so you can sit in with that. I'm going to be there with my counselor at 2 p.m. That's at, what is it, the International Building in Midway, St. Paul. Saturday, January 18th at noon, I'm hanging out with my friend Donnie Damaris, who used to be in my hardcore band with me. So if you want to see that, that's going to be about at noon.
You definitely weren't the screamer in that band, were you?
I was a singer.
Not the screamer though.
No, I didn't scream. That was the bass. Well, that was one of the bass players. We switched a lot of stuff.
You were a Destiny's Child band, switching a lot of people.
That was actually my second band that I was in. I was in a band called Books on Tape in Grand Forks, and we would play like Beyonce covers and
This is all now. This is all making sense.
grab me a
The
guitar. I was like,
Bills,
grab me a
Bills.
guitar. I will play a Beyonce song.
I just remembered. I was trying to remember. I thought there was one more thing. You want to try that book thing?
Oh yeah, the book thing.
Grab that book.
Pick a page. Okay, so my actual dates. These are real.
Dates. Yeah.
January 24th.
Wait, when are you menstruating?
When are you?
We're talking about
menstruating?
dates.
I mean, I'm sympathetic towards it, but I don't. If it happens, I hope soon, because at 34, I don't think I have much time left on my clock.
Right.
Like those eggs are drying, you know.
You
Like,
got
they're
some rotten eggs in
They're
there.
just overcooked. January 24th and 25th, I am at Goonies Comedy Club in Rochester, Minnesota, hosting the show there. And then this one I'm really excited for. February 1st, I'm featuring for Jody Maruska
Hey.
at the
Is that
Comedy
the lady
Bunker.
that did the? Oh, she's really fun.
Oh, she's the
love her.
best. She's so fucking funny. I love her. She's a great person, and she's just so fucking funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
So I get to feature for her. I'm super excited. It's at the Comedy Bunker, which is, if you search Welsh's Big Ten Tavern, that'll come up. I believe the show's at 7:30. So come out and see us. Say hi to me. Just let me know it's going to be okay. I'm going to do 30 minutes of comedy. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to talk about a lot of death. And hopefully y'all are down for that. I think that's all I got for now. I think I have a February. Oh, I do have a February date. Another one. The 21st and 22nd, I'm also at Goonies. Jeff Foser is the feature there. So we're going to have a fun weekend. And then March, I'm going to try to do some shows in Austin, Texas. Hopefully that holds up.
Is that at a festival?
No, we're going down to visit, just in general, see what the city's like. So I figure try to get on a showcase or two when I'm down there.
I could see you living in Austin.
I could live in Austin too.
We have show announcement. Kim Duke. ready for the... Oh, shit. I don't
Wrong
have the
one.
air horns on here.
Show announcement. Is that good enough?
That was good.
Yeah, that's what it was. Damn it. Wasting space on these farts. I need to
Yeah,
plan
Just
better.
Pick one.
Yeah. Pick one fart, and that's...
stick with it. That's
Stick
the
with
only
Stick with
fart you
one.
get.
That's the last fart you get for the rest of your
All right.
life.
Take two. February 20th, Petrus Picks is coming again to Nordic Brewing.
Oh yeah.
Does he know who he's having already?
Most of them.
Okay.
So we're
So
not
you
going to
can't say
announce who
anything.
the people are going to be, but
It's me.
so far, I mean, both shows have been fucking amazing. Everybody has crushed it. So that's what we got going on. So February 20th,
That's
there'll
what you
be
got going on.
Well, you got the Monticello mic. That's pretty
That's
fucking
what I was
rad,
gonna
dude.
say. We got that going on, and then every Tuesday, obviously, we're still doing our thing. Nordic is starting to bring in a bunch more things like
Foosball and pool and
foosballs and
Couches.
pools, but they're gonna do a beer pong league. They got one of those light up fancy tables to do
man.
the beer pong championships.
Nothing like drinking artisanal crafts while playing beer pong.
They actually make a
like a beer pong beer,
Well,
Oh.
not a beer
like
beer
a bush
pong,
latte, but
something that's lighter.
They
so that
actually
you can-
sell Busch Light.
They do,
just,
yeah.
They just sell Busch Light and then they just rebrand it shithoused.
at our company Christmas party. Somebody was like, I walked up to the bar and somebody was like, "Oh, Chris is getting beers for everybody. The first round of beers." And I was like, "Yeah, it's 8 warm Busch Lights in my trunk. You guys are gonna have to go out and get it yourself."
Don't fight over them. I love Busch Light.
I feel like that's such a Minnesota thing.
bush latte.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got some in my trunk. There's always just
Someone's
a couple
always
of
got
Busch Lights rolling
rolling
around.
around.
Or
Busch
some
Light.
natty ice.
Busch Light. It's
Yeah.
9 a.m. You got to feed the beast, but also pick up your kids by 3. Busch Light. Busch Light. Drink as many as you want. You're not getting a DUI. We can prove it.
Busch Light. Proud sponsor of 23andMe.
23 Busch Lights in you? We sell 24, but you only need 23 in you. Busch Light.
Okay, so the last thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna try this book thing. If it sucks, maybe I'll cut it out, and then right
This
here.
is a weird book, though. You're gonna
Is this a prediction?
Mm-hmm. So if it sucked, then we skipped right to the au revoir little ducklings part. Now, so the name of the game is you pick a random page and you start reading, and then we have to, whoever is not reading, we have to try and guess when they've started to make up the words.
Oh,
You get what I'm saying?
yes. I like this game.
Do you want to do it, Chris? I'm not.
You want me to go first?
For
Oh,
shits.
we're gonna go around and each do it.
Yeah,
Well,
dude.
if that's the case, give it back. I want that page.
Oh,
I
okay.
was watching his Dark Materials and I was like, this is a Golden Compass book, isn't it? Yeah. It's not that good.
Oh no, really?
No, it's just fine.
Should I go get P.S. I Still Love You because I have that book.
Wait, they made a second one?
Well, wait, no.
P.S.
So
I Love You?
no. To All the Boys I Loved Before.
The Carrie
Netflix-
Hilson?
No, the Netflix movie that they have.
Oh, I mean, Carrie Hilson wrote a song called All the Boys.
Oh, so To All the Loves I Bought. So I have the second.
And one of
book.
the lyrics is, to all the boys that I used to love before.
Oh,
It's a good song.
okay. I believe you. I don't want to read. I hated reading in front of the class.
You
This is
just
making
made me
really
give it back
anxious.
to you.
Can
I was
not
gonna
do
go
it?
first.
Can this
Do you
be
want me to go first?
I just don't. I don't like reading.
That way you can say it was the guest that fucked it up.
All right, here we go.
Let Chris fuck it up. His podcast.
Right now.
Okay. They're friendly, she said. It's all right, Will. They're looking for us. They knew we were here. And it's cold outside, and I don't know if I should go home right now. Why don't we go over to Dublin's and wait until this whole thing blows over? I was making that part up.
The whole Dublin's part.
I said it's cold outside.
And that's what, okay.
so
See, like
That's
okay,
a point
so you
for
have
me.
To, you have to guess when they
I
start
like to,
fucking it up.
I
Like,
like
do we
to
have to
immerse-
beep in? Like beep.
yeah.
Oh, I can't say that word.
That's the thing. That book's hard. There's big words.
Well, this one just says the Noonie attack. Noonie attack.
You're making that up.
And it's the second word. The is first. Noonie attack is second. I'm like, I can't.
Just call it Nunya.
There's a Star Wars reference in here. Do you have anything with bigger words, like a Goosebumps book, or like?
We could grab one of Landon's books.
Let's do that. Let's make up a children's book.
All right, fine.
Oh yeah, let's beat Alexander up.
The ugly truth. I'll go first.
Nerd.
Oh, we didn't have you do. We got to remember to do your plugs, like for social media and all that shit too.
At Mattfield. The end.
At Matt Failed.
At Mattfield. Yeah. MATTFAILED.
So when you start fucking things up,
Don't read along. Don't read ahead. You got to just start reading.
Just commit to it.
that's
Improv it.
hard. You guys are improv-y people. I'm not. So, but then does every word
sucks to
does,
suck.
Bam, bam, ba, bam.
Do you have to do you have to keep fucking it up though? Like, can there be real words like that are actually in the sentence, or do you have to like completely make everything?
Once
You
you
just-
start making up the first
Okay,
word,
it's easy for you. I get it.
Yeah, once you start
Oh,
making it
here
up,
you go,
then you've
Captain.
already
You do it.
adjusted the word.
yeah, you've already
Do you-
adjusted the
Are
paragraph.
you only wearing your hat like that because the headphones, or do you do that on the reg?
Mainly because like I want to not forget my hat, so I fold it up.
Oh, okay.
But
I
do
feel like
it.
you're just trying to be Steve.
No, that is funny, but no. All right. And I have to admit, I felt a little bit guilty when I saw they were taking their plastic plant with them. Plastic plant with them. Ever since I've been trying to figure out how to sneak some deviled eggs into Friedli's house.
right there?
I didn't change anything.
Damn. That's funny. Oh, yeah, I like the way this is.
It,
so much
it looks
easier.
like a diary. Whoever wrote that was very creative.
Is this easier for you, Chris?
It's way easier. Kids' books are
Wait,
fun.
have you gone yet?
Yeah, I already went.
I was about
Oh.
to.
Yeah, dude, she passed it to me.
Yeah, I did it.
Making it up now.
Wait.
So I can't read ahead.
No.
I mean, you can.
just word.
You can
Okay,
read
no.
ahead and then choose when you want to fuck it up.
Okay.
But
Mom said she thinks the Cool O'Brien thing is a great idea because it gives kids a role model they can look up to. My sister's definitely not that kind of role model, and I don't think my friends are good role models either. That makes me kind of mad because the way I see it, I'm Raleigh's role model.
he didn't change any
I
words.
changed the whole thing about the sister and the friends.
Damn it. I was going to say it, the sisters.
Ooh. Nice. I was watching your eyes move, and I was like, "She is reading like a champ here."
Isn't that funny? I did that before. I was
Fifth
kept moving your eyeballs
grade
back and forth.
level. Ooh.
I was just about to read the thing that you had just read.
Cool, Brian.
I did add the last sentence was legit in the book though, but the two sentences I just
I guess I
missed.
can know. Wait, let me try that again. I guess I
Go
can
ahead. Roll
understand.
sound.
Read it?
Go start that again.
Yeah,
Roll
what is
sound.
it?
I guess I can understand why Roderick's always so grumpy. It's been a long time
There.
since he was. Huh?
Just changed it.
No.
Damn it.
Keep going though.
The center of attention. And believe me, he is unbelievably irritated by chips.
That was it.
That
Chips.
was no. He's unbelievably irritated is where I.
Oh.
Wait,
It's
did
not
you?
me.
Yeah, it's you now.
Okay.
We're going clockwise.
And this is sponsored by Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The
don't-
Ugly Truth.
I don't know anything about this book, so I'm like, I don't know if Gammy didn't seem too hot and bothered that she wasn't a multimillionaire after all.
Multi-millionaire.
Hot and bothered. She wasn't snail trailing down the stairs, if you know what I mean. She wasn't into this.
Hot and bother. That's fucking funny. All right. She used to teach kindergarten, and I don't think
Wait. Say that again.
No, don't be a dick.
Take two.
She used to teach kindergarten. Maybe you've heard of her?
After she took the garbage out.
I'm gonna kill you in
Sorry.
your sleep.
Keep
Insult
going.
between the toes.
That's the best way to kill someone.
I know.
Don't do that. Make them see the fear that you've created.
She used to teach kindergarten,
Ooh, she used to teach the kindergarten. Yeah.
and I don't think she's real crazy about middle school kids.
There it is.
No, that's a real sentence.
I think she's crazy about kids, and that's the problem. That's where the problem is. Can't have that in your book.
Okay, we have math right after Fayed, so then we all went to music class, and we saw the teacher that wasn't crazy about us.
That.
Nah, I know. You
Yeah,
can
there we go.
tell.
Yeah, I
I'm
got it.
sorry.
He
I
knows
was
your
all
quirk.
fucked
Wait,
up.
now whose turn is it? Me?
Oh my gosh, Chris.
It's your turn, you
Clockwise.
silly little bitch.
Say kindergarten. You're such an asshole.
Und
Just for
Kindergartens, ja.
our viewers and our listeners, Chris is mean to me all the time about the way I talk, and I'm still in this marriage. Help me.
My New Year's resolution was to not be as aggressive as I am with like little weird things. Because like if Michaela will say something silly, I'll be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna peg into that." So
You're
I'm like,
pegging her?
yeah. Well, I mean, eventually she'll peg me,
Is
but
it,
we're not quite
pegging-
there yet.
Is pegging only a female to male term?
No, I mean a dude could put a dildo on and peg another dude. I mean, you could peg another dude, just not use your dick. Like you could do that.
Okay.
You know.
So
Yeah.
pegging is just you're an inanimate object.
Yeah, and then you use it to fuck someone's butthole.
Gotcha. Okay. I kind of
It's
understand.
pretty sexy. Just saying.
I kind of understand why Dad didn't want to tell the truth. One time I broke
There
my
it
wrist.
is.
Huh?
You didn't break your wrist, you fucking liar. Broke your back.
That's true. One time I broke my wrist and I told everyone I broke it in a fist fight. I punched Devin O'Reilly
That's wrong.
square. Yeah, you're right.
You've read that book.
No, I haven't.
Fucking nerd. She's a ringer.
No,
She's a
why
ringer.
are you handing it to me?
'Cause
Okay.
I'm in.
Come on out, Clifton.
All right.
Clifton, call back.
Last one.
I like that Clifton has a van.
Greg Heffley has always been in a hurry to grow up, but is getting older really all it's methed up to be?
It's the meth. It's the
What?
meth.
What? Wait, what?
It's the meth.
Damn it. I thought that was a good one.
That is,
Nice.
Yeah.
Like, one of my favorite things that I want to do is, like, do voiceovers like that. And it's just like, Greg Heffley was always been... And like, it's just like it's always like a kind of lazy talker. And then in the background, it seems like if it's going to be a movie that turns to a horror, it's always Salisbury Hill by Peter Gabriel. It's like, bam, 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 this summer, 5 friends are going to go on a journey to discover themselves. And then you hear that like glass break. And then it switches to like a horror sound. I want to do that voice.
Gotcha.
All right. Well,
Well, okay, so it's at Andy Mattfield for everything.
At Mattfield.
At Mattfield.
At Mattfield. Yep. AndyMattfield.com for updates on stuff that I update whenever I have. My events are updated as I put them in my phone. I put sketches on there from time to time. I have some stand-up stuff. If you want to book me, let me know because I want to do your show most likely. Unless you're a person that doesn't like me, then, you know, I get it. It's probably mutual.
Fair enough.
Ilf.
Now, at Duck Duck Grey Duke, I think I made a Twitter, but I think it auto made my name to something else. I think it's like Duck Duck Grey 2 or something like that. Duck
Interesting.
Duck Grey, the number 2.
okay. Well,
But if you look up Duck Duck Grey Duke on Twitter, I'm sure it'll.
Duck Duck Grey Goose. It is
Ooh, excuse me.
it's alcohol.
Yeah, Duck Duck Grey Do 2.
Grey Do too.
Great
Grey
dude.
Do 2. Otherwise,
Grey
Duck Duck Grey Duke on all other social media platforms.
You should have
Or
just
you
cut
can
out
follow-
the U's so it was just dick, dick, grit, dick.
Dick, dick,
Yeah,
Dick, dick, grit,
Or
dick.
you can follow our personal.
Yeah,
I only post videos of my kids.
Landon
pictures of my
M
dogs.
Photo. I'm sure I'm gonna change my name soon since we're
You're
not
no longer.
no longer a company. And
But you still take pictures,
I do
comedy pictures, though.
mostly comedy
yeah.
pictures and portraits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for a family of 5 to yell at me all weekend.
He isn't J.C. Penney's anymore.
No.
JC, goddamn pennies.
They went out of business and so did Landon M Photo. It's fucking dead to us. Get out of it. Get rid of it out of your life. Update.
Yeah.
Well, I got to do taxes this next year, and it still exists until
Yeah.
taxes are done. Okay.
Then yeah. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel and
Click subscribe down here.
on Apple Podcasts, aka iTunes, but also it's not iTunes because you have to look for it on Apple Podcasts. But it looks like iTunes, so that's why people call it iTunes.
Yeah, it is on Apple Podcasts. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause-
Thank you. You were the one that did that.
I helped you players out. What's
Yep,
up?
yep, yep.
I kept saying I was going to do it, and I didn't do it.
You know what it was? It's totally that image.
It can't be.
It was.
couldn't-
That's
how
all
could
I
it be
changed.
the image that many times though?
It was the sizing that you had.
Yeah,
I had to
know,
resize it and adjust it.
but whatever. People already know the gripe about that. Now, Hard Day Diaries, obviously,
Yes.
amazing.
You can
Yes.
find it at harddaydiaries.com. that will link it to my website, which should autoplay episodes. It's on iTunes. It's on Google. It's on Deezer. It's on Spotify. It's on everything. Yeah, I'm on everything. I'm on all this stuff. You can listen everywhere.
I forget.
I'm not on
where-
YouTube though.
Well,
Rough.
I could get that one. I could upload that
Boob
one.
Booblets started putting his stuff on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
It's just a photo, but
Yeah. It's a
so
good
at least you
choice.
can listen to the audio. Okay, so the last thing that we do, we learned recently that it's
We're
au revoir.
Au revoir.
Or
not-
au
not-
revoir.
See, that's what we thought. We looked it up like in depth. And
Au revoir.
au revoir.
Au revoir.
Yeah, they say it fast though.
Au
Au
revoir.
revoir.
Oh wow.
Au revoir. Okay, so anyways, say it however you want, ducklings, but au revoir, little ducklings, quack, quack. Ovaries, little ducklings.
Ovaries. Little ducklings, quack, quack.
Au revoir, little ducklings. Quack quack.
Good job.